Hello and welcome to the One Life Church devotional series where we cover the entire Bible in 20 months. Well, today's chapters are Proverbs 11 and 12. Now, I've just flown into Sydney. I'm in Darling Harbour. I'm in a skyscraper here over this magnificent city. And while I was on the plane, I was reading these two Proverbs. Now, the key verse for me in Proverbs 11 is verse 10. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. Now, this is a hustling, bustling city, isn't it? And many cities of the world have been built on the back of drug cartels and the mafia, etc. This verse says, true rejoicing, where there's gladness and joy in a city, is when righteous people are doing well. Verse 11 says, through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted. So the question needs to be asked then, who are the upright? Who are the righteous? Because in the days that the Proverbs were written, it would have been those that were obeying laws. But we know, and the whole Bible teaches us, that we can't sustain law keeping. We just can't do it. And so the Proverbs writer is speaking about those who are right with God. Now, the only way you can get right with God is to accept the forgiveness of Jesus and to receive the righteousness of Jesus. So if we had to read this again, then today, Sydney Harbour, when a people in Sydney respond to Christ and receive the righteousness of Christ, there is a rejoicing in the streets. There is a rejoicing in the very fabric of society. And then he says this is what righteousness produces. Verse 4, it delivers you from death. It keeps your path straight. Through righteousness you rescued. And so this whole chapter really is about that. It ends verse 19. Truly the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death. And so I suppose sometimes when you look at a city like this, it doesn't take long to peel away the veneer and see that there's death around every corner. It's only where the righteousness of Christ has come that true gladness and joy is found in a city. Now, the next chapter is chapter 12. He says, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. And he's basically putting a collection of sayings together now. We've moved on from a father talking to his son about wisdom, a collection of sayings. And he's basically saying, if you receive rebuke, you're going to be wise. Verse 4. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in the bones. I mean, you all know of diseases that waste away your body. He's saying a disgraceful wife does that to a man. Better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be a somebody and have no food. So many people live in this land of pretense, don't they? That's what our social media makes us do. That's what our Instagram does. We pretend. And this verse is saying, rather be absolutely nobody and just have some sense of success, some sense of responsibility, than be someone who's pretending to be so much, but actually you've got nothing. Be real, is what he's saying. The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. My father-in-law is well known for saying, I can remember him saying this, you can tell a lot by a man how he treats his animals, whether he's a farmer, whether he's got horses, whether he's got cats or dogs. A guy kicks his cat. He's not too far away from kicking a person. And so the way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. Verse 25, anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. And so as we go through these Proverbs now, we're going to be looking at a collection of verses, and it's amazing to me how many of them are about wisdom, how many of them are about taking counsel, how many of them are about taking good friends, how many of them are being humble, walking humbly before God. Anyway, it's time for me to get on with life here in Sydney, and I'll see you tomorrow.